What's happening, everyone? It's John of Video Games in the World. This is a very special occasion because today it's the 40th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda. The Legend of Zelda is one of the most popular video game series of all time. In fact, one of the greatest. It has a lot of good games, some were bad, and some, of course, were abominations, like the CDI Zelda video games. And a couple of hours ago, I premiered my World of Timelines Episode 6 video, which, in honor of the game's 40th anniversary, is about the timeline of The Legend of Zelda. So now we are going to rank the games using Tier Maker. And some people may agree on the rankings I'm doing right now. Some may not agree, but here I go with a ranking of each and every one of the games. Here we go. Okay, so as you can see, we have ranks such as Legendary, Great, Amazing, Good, It's Alright, and the last one, of course, is Awful, in which the bad ones go. Now, in this list, you don't see the CDI games, but of course, obviously, I would rank all the CDI games as awful, indeed. Yeah, they're still remembered for their comedic atmosphere. Okay. So right now, we're going to start with the very first game of the series, The Legend of Zelda. Okay, so 40 years ago in Japan, the first game premiered on the family computer. Here in America, it's the NES. So let me hold on. Please don't hit me for this, but when I think of Zelda, the first thing that comes to my mind is CDI. Oh my gosh. Don't worry, no hate there, but I still think they're abominations. Okay, so anyway, as I was saying, we're going to rank the very first Legend of Zelda video game. So 40 years ago, we remember that very first line in the game that says that the old man gives Link his first sword, saying, "It's dangerous to go alone. Take this." Yup, we all remember her that day. And however, even though it is the first game in the series, it's fun to play, but that game is really, really tough. And if you think that the first quest was tough, just wait until you play the second quest. It shows no mercy. No mercy at all. That's what I'm going to say. Now, in terms of gameplay, I like all the sub-weapons like the bomb, the boomerang, the bow and arrows, and at least the blue ring makes things a little less difficult, but it doesn't mean that it's going to tone down the difficulty because it's really, really tough, especially when you get to the end. And also, the red ring, which increases your defense, is at the very final dungeon, which means it's on Death Mountain, where Ganon's lair. Now, it doesn't have much of a story except that you have to obtain 8 pieces of the Triforce of Wisdom, and then use the Triforce of Wisdom to reveal Ganon, and with the power of the magic sword and the silver arrows, you defeat Ganon. So, my ranking in this tier for the first Legend of Zelda game, I gotta say, it's alright. Now we're going to The Legend of Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Now, a lot of people don't like The Adventure of Link too much because it doesn't have like the same gameplay style as the first game. It's like a combination of 2D action adventure and RPG elements like experience points. Now, when it comes to me playing The Legend of Zelda as a child, when I was very little, my first Zelda game is Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. The Adventure of Link was my first Zelda 2 game, and a lot of people are going to hate me for this, but I kind of like it. I thought it was alright. So, my ranking for this game is it's all right. And now we're going to The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. A Link to the Past is the third installment in the Legend of Zelda series, and to me, it is the best Legend of Zelda game ever made. The very best one, because not only you get to travel in the light world, but also in the dark world, and first you start getting 3 pendants and then 8 crystals. I love the look of the dungeons in both light and dark worlds, and the storyline. Chronologically, in terms of story, it's where the Fallen Hero timeline begins. So, the Fallen Hero timeline is where A Link to the Past begins, and it happens when Link is defeated at the end of Ocarina of Time, and Ganon takes the Triforce of Courage from his dead body and forcefully takes the Triforce of Wisdom from Princess Zelda, and as you know, with the whole Triforce, Ganondorf becomes Demon King Ganon. And the event of the corrupted Sacred Realm and people knowing about the Triforce and trying to enter the Sacred Realm to attain it and becoming monsters due to their greed, this event is called the Great Cataclysm, and the 7 sages having to seal the Dark World is called the Imprisoning War. And this Imprisoning War has nothing to do with the Imprisoning War that you see in Tears of the Kingdom and Age of Imprisonment. So this game to me is like amazing and one of the greatest Zelda game of all time. So my ranking for this is legendary. Yup, A Link to the Past ranks in legendary. Our next one is The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening for the Game Boy, taking place after A Link to the Past, and also it has the same gameplay style as the first game, in which you switch weapons using the B and A buttons. but still, I really like many of the sub weapons, like Rock's Feather, where Link can jump, and the music is I like the music, everything about it. But still, given how the story goes, like when Link discovers that Koholint Island is an illusion, and he plays a Battle of Wind Fish, making the island disappear, that was kind of super messed up, how it all ends. So now they have like the original Game Boy and the DX game, which appear on the Game Boy Color. So for the Game Boy Color, I'm gonna rank, and the Switch remake, they're both ranked as great. That goes the same for the original Game Boy release. So I gotta rank them in the rank of great. The next one is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Okay, so The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, a lot of people consider to be the best Legend of Zelda game of all time. No, you're not being annoying. I'm just focusing on this. I'm just focusing on this ranking right there, Beetle Show. Okay, so now a lot of people say that The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time is the best or even better than A Link to the Past, which I disagree. Because A Link to the Past to me is like the best. The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time is what brought the video game into 3D on the N64 back in 98. I still remember playing that game back in 1998. I got it for Christmas. I was really, really happy that day. I was 12 years old. And I played it so much during the Christmas season. So Ocarina of Time is where, at first we all thought that it was like the origin of the Triforce and the Master Sword, But the true origin of the Triforce and the Master Sword will not be revealed until Skyward Sword later in 2011. And now, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time shows Hyrule in its splendor, in 3D splendor. The music is beautiful, and the voice acting, you only hear like laughs, giggles, cries, grunts, screams. You know. So Ocarina of Time would later be re-released on the 3DS as Ocarina of Time 3D. As for my ranking for this game, I give it legendary. I'm not gonna say that it's better than A Link to the Past, because it ain't, but it ranks as legendary. Now, 2 years later, in the year 2000, we had The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. The Which Legend of Zelda was the one with a massive moon and nightmarish face? Majora's Mask. Now, a lot of people say that Majora's Mask was amazing. Some people say that it wasn't good. Some people say that it sucked. Well, those who say that it sucked, I don't know. You guys probably have poor taste. It's not Ocarina of Time, but I thought it was amazing. Yeah, it can get like a little bit boring because you have to go back in time to prevent the moon from falling as a way to complete the dungeons, you know. So, but still, I like seeing familiar faces in that game, and the Deku Mask, I didn't like it that much. Goron Mask, I thought it was okay. The Sora Mask, loved it, especially that Kung Fu style fighting. But my favorite mask of them all, the Fierce Deity Mask. Still, you gotta admit that in terms of storyline, Majora's Mask is very depressing because Link is looking for Navi, but unfortunately he never finds her, which is sad. Very sad. So Majora's Mask, I would rank it on the rank of amazing. Okay. In 2001, we had two Legend of Zelda games for the Game Boy Advance, Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons. Now, Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons take place during the Fallen Hero timeline, and it's where Link travels to the worlds of Holodrum in Oracle of Seasons and Labrina in Oracle of Ages. You can beat any of the games for... You can beat Oracle of Seasons first or Oracle of Ages first, however you like. However you like. However, there could have been a third Oracle game, which was Oracle of Secrets, with Farore being the Oracle of Secrets. Now, when you beat either one of the games, you can connect. You can use a secret password to connect the ending of Oracle of Seasons to Oracle of Ages, or either or one is fine. And you can also get the Master Sword with a secret code. You can watch it on my playthrough on my Video Games in the World Gaming channel on how to get the Master Sword. You know. But I gotta say that Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages rank as good. Mainly because I'm a glutton for punishment, because we could have had an Oracle of Secrets video game. Now, our next Legend of Zelda video game is The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. Now, I remember when The Wind Waker was announced, and I thought that The Wind Waker was going to be a crappy Legend of Zelda video game, mainly because it looked too cartoony and too kiddie. I thought it was like, oh my god, this game looks like it's going to suck. It looks too kiddie and too cartoony. Me and one of my best friends since childhood both agreed that it looked really crappy. But then when I saw that my brother had the game and I played that game, I started playing it and I'm like, damn, this game is amazing. And you know what the funny thing is? Now, this is not a Zelda game, but I also thought the same thing about Kingdom Hearts, that it was going to be like a too kiddie for a Disney Square RPG with Final Fantasy characters in it. But when I played Kingdom Hearts, oh my god. Oh my god, that game was amazing. Second was even better. And Chain of Memories, not as good as the first one, but it was amazing. Now, the Wind Waker, when I played it and I completed it, oh my god. I loved it. I never thought I would, but I loved it. So as you can see, the lesson is to never, ever judge a book by its cover. So my ranking for The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker is legendary. Hold on a second. There you go. Both the HD and the original GameCube release are legendary. Man, Jesus Christ, The Wind Waker was amazing. Okay, next, The Four Swords. Now, The Four Swords, I didn't play The Four Swords, mainly because it was a 4-player game. But thanks to emulator patches, I don't have to worry about waiting for 4 other players to play with me, this game with me, The Four Swords, thanks to emulator patches. And I thought that this game was pretty amazing. Oh, it was amazing, The Four Swords. It was amazing. So yeah, it ranks as amazing. The Four Swords. And I keep hearing people say Kingdom Hearts is good. Good, you say? Dude, you're missing out. It's one of the greatest things you'll ever play. Trust me. You're going to feel nostalgic with watching characters from some of your favorite Disney films that you probably saw when you were a kid. Like some of the best Disney movies ever made. Alice in Wonderland, Hercules, Pinocchio, The Little Mermaid, Snow White, Peter Pan, Nightmare Before Christmas, and Kingdom Hearts 2. You got games like from Disney movies like Mulan, Beauty and the Beast. In various Kingdom Hearts games, you'll see a lot of worlds from your favorite Disney movies growing up as a child. But enough of Kingdom Hearts. Back to The Legend of Zelda. So, the next game I'm going to talk about is The Legend of Zelda, The Minish Cap for the Game Boy Advance. It has the same... Link has the cartoony appearance in The Minish Cap. I played that game on the Game Boy Advance when I was 18 years old. I was a high school senior, and I really enjoyed playing that game so much. It's a prequel to The Four Swords, and that game was phenomenal. The concept, the world design, the music, everything about that game is great. So that's what I'm gonna rank it on. The Minish Cap, great. Man, if only. And let me tell you something, man. If they can remake Link's Awakening, they should for the Switch. Then they should remake like Oracle of Seasons and Ages, and even the Minish Cap for the Switch and Switch 2. But I think that they're gonna focus more on the Switch 2 from now on. So, bummer if it doesn't come out on the Switch. You know. Now, the next Zelda game is The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Now, some people didn't like Twilight Princess very much because they thought it was too dark. What's wrong with the Zelda game being dark? I thought it was amazing. No, it was legendary. The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I made a playthrough of it on my gaming channel for the Nintendo Wii, of course. Too bad I didn't do it for the Wii U, because I don't have the Wii U. And you know what? I really wish that they made if they could do a remake of Skyward Sword for the Switch, they should have made a remake of Twilight Princess, for a remaster of Twilight Princess for the Switch as well, and for the Switch too. Jesus Christ, Nintendo. So, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess was, I'm going to rank it in the position as legendary. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm going to put the GameCube version, the GameCube Wii version as great, and the HD version as legendary. There you go. Okay, so the next one is Skyward Sword. No, wait. Four Swords Adventures for the GameCube. Now, Four Swords Adventures for the GameCube, it is where the child timeline ends. The era of the of Child Link is where the Four Swords Adventure. The Four Swords Adventures is where the timeline of Child Link comes to an end. I didn't play it on the GameCube, to be honest with y'all, but I saw how amazing it was, so that's where I rank it, right next to Four Swords as amazing. Okay, so the next one is Skyward Sword. I also have Skyward Sword on the Nintendo Wii, and I thought it was pretty amazing to say but sometimes it would bother me is that when I use the Wii mode, when it went off range, the game would pause. But still, it was amazing, that game. I really enjoyed it, to be honest. So, my tier rank of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, I would say it's great. As for the Switch version, I don't have it, but I could rank it in great as well. Okay, so next, The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. A Link Between Worlds is a game that I remember playing on my brother's Nintendo 3DS. That game was incredible. A sequel to one of my most favorite Zelda games of all time, A Link to the Past. And it also takes place during the Fallen Hero timeline. And I have a t-shirt that is more in tune with that game, where Link draws himself to walls, and I really enjoyed it. It got me nostalgic from the days of A Link to the Past and of playing that game. And I gotta say that I really loved the gameplay, the concept, and the designs. Got me very nostalgic from these good old days. So it might not be as perfect as A Link to the Past, but my rank for that game is, it was amazing. Now, Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, I didn't play them as much, because you need the stylus for that. But after seeing some playthroughs and YouTubers like I'm making game movies of both Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, I'm gonna rank them as good. Because I wasn't too much of a fan of using the stylus of the Nintendo DS. Not a big fan of using those. Okay, so Now we are going to Hyrule Warriors. Now, Hyrule Warriors is like The Legend of Zelda meets Dynasty Warriors. Hers first started out on the Wii U, and then we had a definitive edition on the Nintendo Switch. Didn't play much of it, but I gotta say it looks good. So I'll rank Hyrule Warriors as good, and the definitive edition for the Switch, amazing. Hyrule Warriors Legends is for the 3DS. I didn't play much of it, so I'm gonna say that it's never played, but I could rank it on the rank of good. Okay, so Link's crossbow training, awful, not my style. And now we're going to Triforce Heroes. Triforce Heroes, not. I gotta say that it's all right. Now we're going to the era of the Wilds, and we're gonna do a little pause with the Wilds because there's one of the games that takes place during the Fallen Hero timeline. Okay, so The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. It first came out on the Nintendo Wii U, and then it came out on the Switch. I have both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and what I loved about Breath of the Wild is the vast world of Hyrule taking place in a different era that is not connected to any of the three timelines, or probably a convergence according to some debates. Me, I would see it as a convergence of where the three timelines came to an end, taking place eons after the old games ended, after the three timelines ended. And I love the gameplay, the concept, the art style, and I really like how they took like elements from Studio Ghibli movies. Now, Studio Ghibli is an anime movie studio run by Hayao Miyazaki, who brought you many of these amazing movies that I really, really enjoyed, like My Neighbor Totoro, Spirited Away, House Moving Castle, and my personal favorite of the Studio Ghibli movies is Princess Mononoke. I love that movie. Now, my first Studio Ghibli movie when I was a child was My Neighbor Totoro. It was a very, very cute movie. My cousin, when I was 16, he introduced me to that movie, Princess Mononoke, and oh my god, I could watch that movie like 100 times over and over and over. Jesus Christ. It was amazing. And also, what I love about Breath of the Wild is that you don't have to go to liberate the four divine beasts, where you can go straight to Ganon, but it's going to be really tough, especially if you don't have the Master Sword, and especially if you haven't upgraded the defenses of your outfits with the help of the Great Fairy. What I also loved is that you can also obtain some clothes that could remind you of the old games, like the outfits from Ocarina of Time, A Link to the Past, The Wind Waker, and so on. And I also enjoyed doing many of the side quests. They were fun, and seeing these play aces from different games, I really loved how they combined various worlds from different past games into one. So I'm gonna say that Breath of the Wild is legendary. Breath of the Wild is indeed legendary. Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. Age of Calamity returns to the gameplay concept of Dynasty Warriors. It takes place during the time of Breath of the Wild, but it's not canonical to Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom or Age of Imprisonment, because Age of Calamity is more of a what if type of story, like an alternate reality, like a Link and the Champions defeating Calamity Ganon, and the events of Breath of the Wild never taking place after that. But I gotta say that that game was amazing, Breath of the Wild. So, I mean, Age of Calamity. So, Age of Calamity, my ranking of that is amazing. Okay, the next one is The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom is a sequel to Breath of the Wild with flashbacks on how with Zelda traveling across time while Link is doing all the work in the present day. I really like the concept of like auto building vehicles and all sorts of technology, but sometimes it bothers me that the battery would run out very quickly. Link's battery, of course. But still, it was a pretty good sequel. Not as good as Breath of the Wild, but my ranking for Tears of the Kingdom is great. Okay, Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment. Age of Imprisonment is like a more expanded storyline of Zelda traveling to the past and trying to stop Ganondorf, and unites with the sages of that time and with King Rauru during the foundation of the Kingdom of Hyrule. I haven't played it yet because I don't have the Switch 2, but I gotta say that it looks amazing. So that's my rank of that for that game. Amazing. And now, the last one is The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. I love the fact that you can play as Princess Zelda instead of Link, because after so many games of playing with Link and this female version of Link called Linkle in Hyrule Warriors, I gotta say that they did an amazing job with letting Zelda be the hero for once, rather than being the damsel in distress or something, you know. I mean, Zelda doesn't play the trope of the damsel in distress all the time, because she can mentor Link and guide him and cook up an intelligent plan to prevent Ganon from obtaining the whole Triforce, you know? Now, the story of a more expanded origin of the Triforce and Hyrule, and a new villain called Null that wants to return everything to the Void, it kind of reminds me of Exdeath from Final Fantasy V that wanted to return everything back to the Void. Except that Null doesn't go on and on with his conversations about the Void. Exdeath going like a return to the Void. Oh my gosh. And I like how the designs of Echoes of Wisdom look exactly like the remake of the Nintendo Switch remake of The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. So my rank for this game is amazing. Echoes of Wisdom looks amazing, and I bet it was amazing. And there you have it, folks. That is my tier ranking of The Legend of Zelda video games. So, happy 40th anniversary to The Legend of Zelda, and may it continue to shine for all the years to come. So, that is all for the live stream of today, of right now, because tonight I might just do another live stream, and it's the first Legend of Zelda game going for the second quest of The Legend of Zelda, which I never did in my life. I was too scared of getting my ass kicked, but now that is what I will do. The second quest of The Legend of Zelda as a live stream. So I'll see you tonight, like at about 9